another cigar up? Is that all right? I mean, all this alien talk, we're all going to die. I'm having a child. You're telling me the world's going to end?
Oh, I don't think the world's going to end. I think the world's going to change.
But will it be? Are you a hopeful person in general, or are you pessimistic, optimistic?
I'm more optimistic than I am pessimistic.
That's good.
Yeah, I have faith in people. I think I think people need to somehow be confronted by the reality of the times that we're living in and how captured our ideas are, and just to be careful of what we're doing in terms of worldwide conflict, personal conflict, all conflict. I think we're just too embroiled in unnecessary conflict. I think it's fucking dangerous. It's just the political conflict, the social conflict that we have. It gets in the way of all the great aspects of life. And,
of course.
And the problem is, it's like people want things to be better, and they think, and they're convinced that this path is the way to make things better, and the other people are convinced that that's not the way to make things better, and there's no meeting in the middle. And these people are Nazis, and these people are Marxists, and it's like.
Well, so much of this is social media. Don't you feel like, I know 100%. I'm not coming out with like a groundbreaking theory here, but I mean, I think social media is really fucking us and dangerous, and would all be improved to limit it to some degree.
Yeah, I'm getting a new phone and not putting any apps on it. I'm keeping an old phone that I'm going to like use for social media, where I'll go and post things and stuff like that, but I'm done.
Yeah, it's really not good. But the AI stuff, also, they could fucking cure cancer and what do you call it? What's the other one? Alzheimer's and all that shit. And climate change, fix that shit up, get a carbon vacuum, suck that shit. So you are an optimist.
Yeah.
You're like, if I light myself on fire, it'd be a cool
Most
scar.
of the time, I'm optimistic. But I'm also, look, the world is far better right now than it's ever been. And it seems to always be moving in a far better direction. And even all the social conflict, like a lot of the shit that I don't agree with, like a lot of the youth gender ideology stuff and a lot of the social justice warrior stuff, I see why it would be a good idea to pursue this idea of making things more equal for everybody. Like, it's all in the right vein. I just don't think it works. I don't think it works accurately with human nature, but I like the fact that that's the direction that people are pushing aggressively rather than racism. Like, imagine if like the same exact anti-racism like energy was now pushed towards, a racist agenda like Nazi Germany, because that was the same kind of thing.
Right.
But it was a negative thing, right? It was an extermination thing. But I think we got to be real careful about like the conflict that we get in.
Hopefully, don't you feel like maybe people will start, there's more and more studies about social media, what's healthy. We know more and more about what's healthy, getting into the outdoors and being with people, being of service, as there's many, not to get AA again, but like there's many scientific studies that like when you're serving other people, that's the key to happiness. And there's more and more podcasts and books and studies about this. So hopefully people go, boy, I'm really fucking depressed and unhappy. Let me get into nature, put my phone down, be of service to others. And you have more people doing that. You
do, but I think it's like the warnings on cigarette boxes. Everybody knows they're there and they keep smoking cigarettes. Social media is super addictive, man.
But less people smoke than before.
That's true.
So they have worse.
Still a lot of people smoke.
Of course, but
you might have more people that realize that social media is detrimental to your mental health. Yes. You probably have more people that would recognize it, yeah. And I think more people do recognize it now than ever before. The problem is once you're hooked, it's fucking super hard to get off of it.
Yeah, it's really hard. I'm bad when I'm by myself. When I'm with people, I'm very good about being present, but I spend so much time on the road. And when I'm in the hotel, I find myself being like, I'm going to watch a movie or read, and then I read 3 paragraphs, and I'm like, oh, what's up with that guy? And I go to Wikipedia and start reading shit.
Yeah, the thing to me is, I love the fact that you can get entertainment on your phone. I love YouTube. I love podcasts. I love the fact that you listen to music. I love that. That's my favorite part of the phone. I feel like that's overall net positive. Mm-hmm. You know, I could watch ESPN Plus on my phone. I watch fights, like live streaming, just with 5G. Just sit, if I'm stuck somewhere, like there's a UFC card, fucking set my phone down right here, and I can watch the fights.
Yeah.
Like, I've had to do some boring ass shit that I agreed to do, and really part of it, you're just sitting there. I'm like, I'm busting out my phone.
Right.
I got the fights on now, right? I love that, but the social media thing where people are checking their likes and checking what everybody else is doing, and I just think that robs you of time to just interact with people and think. And I think we've become super accustomed to that thievery to the point where we just sort of accepted it. And I've only gone a couple of times without doing it, but one time that I did it was in Hawaii. I broke my phone. I dropped it, and it just started randomly dialing phone numbers. I'd hold it up, and it would just randomly dial, and I'd press a button. I'm like, look at this. And then it would dial somebody else, and I'd press send, end, and then dial someone else. And you couldn't stop it from doing it. I restarted, kept doing it. So I had to order a phone from Apple. I was on Lanai. It's a small island.
Okay.
It took like 3 days to get me a phone. But during that 3 days, I felt so much better.
I had the same thing happen. I was at Denver Comedy Works a few years ago. The same thing. My phone just crapped out.
Yeah.
And I had like 2 days without it. And you're like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I was like a normal person again.
Yeah.
And I was with my family, so I knew where everybody was. We were all hanging out together. So it was like normal. And I was like, oh my God, this is such a better way to interact in life. And then as soon as I got my phone, I went right back to it.
Yeah, it's hard not to. I was just listening to a thing too. Some, I don't know, psychologist guy or someone was talking about boredom, like what you feel when you're bored. Like we need to feel that. And that evolutionarily was like, basically you'd be out hunting and then no animals were coming by. And so you felt boredom. And that was your brain, your body telling you like, hey, go do something else productive.
Yeah.
Go get berries or go fucking sleep or whatever. Where we need that to go, oh, you know what I should do is something else. But instead of feeling that, we just go straight to the phone.
It's also one of the ways you come up with your best ideas.
Right.
You know, when you're just bored and thinking, and then you're stuck in a waiting room somewhere with no magazines. And then next thing you know, like I used to have some of my best ideas on airplanes because I would be stuck on the airplane. I couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And back when there was no Wi-Fi in airplanes, all I had was a notebook.
Yeah, it was nice. The subway was like that in New York, too. Before, when I first moved there, you would have a 45-minute ride home just with your thoughts. Same thing.
Exactly. Yeah, and we missed that. For whatever reason, we didn't think that was valuable. Because the entertainment that you get off of TikTok or Twitter or any of that stuff is so much better.
Well, and now you also have the feeling that I can be productive all the time. And in reality, it makes you less productive. But you think I can work, which is one of the problems they talk about with people working from home now, is there's no more clocking in and clocking out. You wake up and you immediately start. So you end up working more.
Maybe. Or you fuck off a lot and get caught jerking off.
Right. I mean, that too.